at that!
The kimono is a traditional wearing. It literally means thing to wear. It's a T-shaped robe, and the hem falls to the ankles. It's wrapped around the body, always left to right, and generally it's worn with sari or gaita shoes with split-toed socks called tabi. Today they are worn most often on special occasions. Traditionally they're made of silk brocade, and satin leaves. Modern ones are less expensive and are generally made of rayon, cotton, and polyester. Alex is wearing a yukata, which is a less formal wear, and it's not lined, and usually worn in the summer. Okay. Next, we have Rachel Bedola, who is wearing and Jason, who are wearing traditional Japanese, not traditional, but Japanese school uniforms. The school uniform was introduced over a century ago. In the 70s and 80s, some trends were long ankle-length skirts, wide-legged pants, and shorter than regular jackets. And some trends in the 90s were for girls, blazers, rolled skirts, loose socks and knee highs, and for guys, hip-hugged pants. And now, now you would see them wearing knee-high socks, loose and longer cardigans, sometimes rolling, sometimes they roll their skirts up, and and that's it. Harleen, she's modeling Mori Girl. It's very earthy tones with browns, greens, and ivories. They're loose-fitting clothes, dresses, and cardigans. Mori means forest, so the fashion is supposed to be a girl coming out of the forest. There's lots of layering, and generally hair is worn in braids or waves. Thank you. Next up we have Allison Putnam wearing Dolly K. Dolly K is very similar to Mori Girl, but is a newer style. A lot of their clothing is inspired by fairy tales and European dolls. Very popular to find clothing in vintage shops. They're floral prints and furs and dark colors and lots of layers. Usually they have longer skirts and frilly bras and blouses, and accessories that are Victorian in nature and sometimes crosses. We have Lolita. First we have Gothic Lolita, worn by Krista. Their colors are darker and white, and there's not as many accessories, but it's still cute. And we have Classic, which is neutral colors. They don't wear as many accessories, and they have simpler clothes. They're based off Victorian styles. And then we have Cute, which they're supposed to look like cute dolls. Sweet. They're supposed to look like cute dolls. There's lots of pinks, purples, yellows, blues, and whites in this fashion. There's lots of cute accessories, and it often involves sweet foods and candy. Bows are a very common accessory. Visual Kei. This style was created in the 80s by Visual Kei musicians. It's a mix of the 80s, goth rock, heavy metal, and punk music. Usually they have very dramatic makeup and unusual hair. A lot of the clothing is inspired by Victorian and Gothic costumes, and it's very difficult to replicate, so usually you would go to the stores and buy the clothing. It's also a subgenre of Japanese rock, and the fashion itself has lots of Western influence, such as goth and cyberpunk and punk. We have Ellie wearing fairy cake. It is a mix of Decora, which we'll see later, and Sweet Lolita. It's mostly pastel colors, there's cute shirts, lots of hair accessories, and layered skirts. They like pastel socks and shoes, and there's lots of elements that involve characters such as Relacrima and Gloomy Bear and Minnie Mouse. They like Western characters most of the time, also My Little Pony, Strawberry Shortcake, and Care Bears. Next up we have Malia. She's modeling Ganguro. Ganguro literally means charbroiled face. The face is very tan, often with bronzer, a lot of makeup around the eyes, white eyeshadow, dark eyeliner, mascara, and often false lashes. Sometimes stickers are added to the face. They usually wear bright shoes, bright socks, bright everything, and usually have bleached hair. This style appeared in the early 90s, and it is not as common now, but it's still fun to show. Worn by April. There are many different subgroups and styles of gathering, and all consist of very tan skin. Generally their hair is brown or light brown or bleached, and their shoes are high heels and very short skirts. And popular Western store for guys, Forever 21. Thank you. This is our fashion show. We'd like to invite all our models back on so they can take a bow, and so they can. Well, you can come back. Come back. You too, guys. Come on. Everyone in costumes can come back on stage. I mean fashion, not costumes. This is fashion. Hi.